going into my basketball. Every time I rock, man, this is how we rap and raw. Peace to my man. Now we got the camera out. Every time I spit it, cross over the.
All right, hello everyone. This is Josh, also known as Yashu, and you're tuning into the 41st episode of the TLOY Talks podcast. Thank you for tuning in, and definitely check it out on all platforms right now, as mentioned, like in other episodes too, like Buzzsprout, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify as well too. So let's get started. I think he's like actually one of the most dopest artists right now. Having like the unique Detroit sound and like bringing it to like Toronto with a lot of dope music. He has like an album out with production credits from RJ Lamont, who's produced Versada Baby and much more too. Is managed by Team Real Estate 247, and he's doing like a lot of shows ever since.
Yeah.
We
Shout
have
out Team 247. Shout out TLOY. You already know. Appreciate you guys for having me. All
right, KGDASAV. How are you doing today, man?
I'm good, bro. How you guys feeling?
I'm doing all right, man. Like I've been like tapping in with like the music so far, and like I think you're very different from like all the other artists I've seen right now, and like that's only because like you have like that whole Detroit sound, Detroit/Flint sound, like so perfectly when putting it on like a dope album, like in Toronto right now, because you don't see like a lot of like Toronto artists doing like Detroit sound albums, and if they do, it's not really like up to par in that sense too. But like you're being consistent with it. It's a dope vibe, and I like to see it.
Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, man. Try to keep it different. Like no hate or nothing. Everyone here sounds the same in the city, so I'm trying to like switch it up a bit.
Yeah, man.
Because I like having fun with it, talking shit.
Yeah.
No auto tune kind of rap. So like,
nah, I got you,
bro.
man. Yeah,
Detroit flow is the way to go for sure.
Yeah, man. And I definitely see you making like a lane for yourself too, and like we'll discuss some more on that like later on too. But since everyone wants to know like KGDASAV for the very first time, you grew up in Scarborough, but like where did you grow up in Scarborough, and like what was like the environment like for you back then?
Yeah, I was born here. I moved to Jamaica when I was like 2. I lived there for a bit. Went to like preschool, grade 1 to 4 and whatnot. Then I came here after. But before that, I was back and forth to Canada. So probably like 18, 19 years now. I've been living in Victoria Park, St. Clair. And I recently moved like probably like a year ago, right?
True.
So there's been like beaches, East End kind of thing,
True. That's just by what, Parma, right?
Yeah, close to Parma and shit.
So how's like that vibe like, like living around that Parma area and all that, and like
I wasn't too close to it, but yeah, there was always their shit going on there, you know? I was really like a homebody kid, like on my ones doing my thing,
Yeah, true.
Like if anything, I wasn't up to no good. I was out being good, So
true.
Yeah, bro.
And like, you mentioned that, you were like living in Jamaica like throughout that time. Was it just kind of shape up for a bit too? Because I know of some families like they'll move their kids to Jamaica to kind of ease up like if there's like issues at school and all that type of stuff too. So
no, I wasn't even like that. I just ended up going there because that was better for my parents, So I stayed there with my pops for a bit. Went to school. I was bad as hell still. I can't lie. So it's a good thing that happened, right?
Yeah, man.
So yeah, my pops is still in my life till this day, So I just been with him. Then I came here, like I said, 18, 19 years ago. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man. And I mean, Jamaica, like it's already explainable too with like all the dope music going on right now, the amazing culture too. Like they even have like a Bob Marley flick that's going to come out like next year and all that too. You might have seen it on YouTube, and like dope sounds in Jamaica right now. Byron Messiah with I think Taliban, like that's been going crazy too. And like
Skilly Ben and all those guys, bro.
But like, with VP and all that, VP and St. Clair, like as you mentioned, like Parma, like they have some like dope guys out right now. 6 people from there. Big Lean, a shitload of people. Like Roni is like from there too, and like I think Drake's guys Hush, he's actually from there too. He used to go by like I think like Big Tony or something like that. But even in that area, was it big for music at that time growing up?
Yeah, no, they definitely were doing their thing. That was like who really started it in a way, kind of like a Chief Keef Chicago Joe vibe kind of thing. So like Parma was definitely one of them for sure. That's really why I liked rapping at first too, because when I came around, I was like, oh, these guys are right down the street. So it just took me a while to let it stick, but I started rapping like later on,
True. Yeah. Like, I know that you mentioned that you were like a bad kid like back then, but you kind of shaped up. But like from birth until like at the age of like 18, like what were you like? Like what were like some traits that you've had like growing up, and like
I was just always for the people. I love to talk to people. I wasn't really shy, I was outgoing and all that. Like a little bit of lying and stuff as a kid, But like other than that, like I just try to be the best person I can be. Like my parents tell me, you know.
Yeah, man. Nah, I definitely know what you mean.
Same vibe for everything. Like if people give me that energy, then they get the same vibe, you know.
True. Nah, most definitely too. And like, I mean, school, like, you know, like even going to a specific school, like it kind of changes like the outreach of like what you want to do and all that too. Like from a good school to a bad school to anything else too. But and like they'll always have like those career days and like all that type of stuff too. And like they'll tell you like, hey, like we'll go to this place for a field trip and all that for just to kind of explore like job opportunities. But you know, at that time, like what did you want it to do like initially that you wanted to do for like a career or a job and all that?
I always wanted to do like construction and stuff. I remember I wanted to be a firefighter, ambulance, police officer. I said everything when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
But like really, like once I hit high school, I guess, sort of middle school, I was probably wanting to do construction, be working outside, you know? And I've been doing that ever since. So
True. Because construction, like, you know, it's like kind of like one of the best things right now for like people working and all that too. Like big money, big opportunities and all that too. Like big projects. And, you know, even with the hours too, like there's like a lot of like opportunities to kind of grow like in the trades too. So, you know, I think I've had this like crazy question too. So I don't know if you know about like the whole like Eglinton like West construction and all that too.
yeah,
like, for the subways.
all the way to the east.
Yeah.
I asked the whole city.
I asked this one guy like why it's like taking so long and all that too, but like in your experience, you know, with construction, why do you think like it takes so long to kind of make the Egg West like subway line?
It's funny you say that. I actually seen it like a few days ago. If you guys really go and take a close look, you see how nice it looks.
Yeah.
That's the answer because there's a lot of detail in it. And there's nice landscape. They didn't just build it just because, you know. Even though it drove me nuts half the time driving through the ends, roads are bumped up, messed up, bro. You know, so it's like you gotta like just go take a look one day if you're nearby. You'll see it. It's nice. It's mint.
True.
So you can't hate on that. Especially I know half the people in Toronto take public transit, right? If not more, almost.
Nah, I definitely know what you mean, man. And I think I don't know if it would take like up to like 2027 or like 2026 to get that done too, but hopefully it might work out from there, you know?
No, it looks good, yo. They're doing their thing.
True.
Yeah.
But getting back into like the music part right now, like what was like your first introduction to music?
Probably like as a kid, man, I listened to everything. I feel like once I started learning all these songs, like over like 10,000 songs, word for word in my head, I just wanted to do music. You know, I got kind of bored. I wanted to make my own kind of flow, you know?
Yeah.
So instead of listening to other people's music, which I support, I do that tons. I like listening to my tracks because it's like, it's music that I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. True. But like we could get it with like the whole like Detroit sound. Like, how did you get introduced to the whole like Detroit sound?
That's what I started listening to right before I started rapping, actually, right?
Yeah.
A lot of Rio, Free Rio, a lot of PZ, all those guys, you know? So it's like, they really made me laugh and like look at it like an entertainment kind of style thing, right? So I say whatever I want to say as long as it's kind of funny, it's kind of true, you know?
Yeah.
And we're blessed, so just have fun with it.
Yeah, no,
really.
definitely. Like for me, like my first introduction to the Detroit sound, it was like mainly Fruity, Grizzly, and all that too, with First Day Out and all that. But that kind of led into something more interesting too. And like, I mean, Dej too, but like,
that's mainstream. Like Big Sean and them, that's like T Grizzly definitely has that like bio to it. Like, you know, he has the duo thing where you can do a mainstream flow and a Detroit flow. But like, I do a lot of Skilla Baby, Ice Revezo, 42 Dog, that kind of Detroit, right?
Yeah. And like you know,
different stuff.
with T, it's like I was like listening to him, then Sada Baby, then Payroll, Giovanni when he works with like Cardo and all that too. And then I kind of expanded further, like, you know, during the pandemic when I heard like BFB the Pac Band for the very first time. Like that was like
super different too. There you go. See what I mean?
Man, nah, most definitely. And so like with artists and sounds, like I know like you've mainly listened to like your own sound and like also with the Detroit stuff. But what else did you like listen to and all that?
A lot. I listen to R&B. Usually I'm a radio guy at work, so it's like whatever's on the radio. If it has a nice vibe flow, why not? I'm singing some shit.
True.
Whatever. If it's Taylor Swift, something like that. I'm not a country fan at all. But like, you know, certain mainstream songs people sing, everyone sings, right?
Nah, I got what you mean, man. And you've listened to like Flow 93.5, right? Like,
I listened to that too. Perfect example. A lot of Afro beats, shit like that. So
because I remember like when it was like only like Peter Cash and like also with Blake Carter and all that too. Like that was like kind of a vibe back then. Like they were playing Toronto stuff and then they were playing like some other stuff too. And then when it went to like G 98.7, you know, now it's like a whole different sound and all that too, like Afro beats, like R&B, as you said too. So
Yeah, no,
yeah,
definitely. Yeah, I wish I had it. I wish I had music out back then when they were
Yeah.
playing more Toronto shit. Because I've been trying to get on flow, you know. So it's like
yeah,
now it's a competition because they play everything else.
yeah. Nah,
So
most
yeah, I definitely listen to flow though.
True. Nah, I got what you mean, man. And like, how did you get into rapping and making music?
COVID really. I saw an ad, United Masters, DistroKid. I'm like, what is this? And I'm looking at it, Googling it, and like it's like a record label in your pocket. So that made me realize how easy it is to put my own music out. I didn't need nobody. I didn't need to be signed or found, you know? Like that's the difference nowadays, right? Then back in the day, you had to be like found. And like someone had to put you through the like paths to get music out, right? Now you can do it yourself. So like really because of COVID, I saw that, paid a membership, just started going with it. My boy had a home studio. A lot of things were clicking together. So I said, why not? Let's do this. I have everything ready.
Yeah, no, most
I
definitely.
have the resources. So let's start rapping.
You've mainly used like a United Masters, right?
Yeah. I'm on DistroKid now, though.
True.
Yeah.
So like, even like around that time too, like what was like the whole like main difference between, using like United Masters and like using another platform like TuneCore or DistroKid or a CD Baby and all that?
There are many reasons. Some are cheaper. Some have better deals for if you have other artists with you trying to perform or make music.
Yeah.
So like DistroKid is good too. It's a group thing, right?
And they also have like that whole like legacy thing too.
Yeah,
So like,
exactly.
Yeah.
United Masters has that too, but you gotta be a select artist.
Yeah.
So I did that for like a year, and then I was like, nah, DistroKid's better deals, right?
Yeah.
Way more ways to promote too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but it's like also like you have to pay for the subscription too, because some people do like the whole monthly thing. Others do like the whole like annually thing.
It's annually for me still.
Like I know right now, because I think like if like I used to do it for like an artist I used to manage too, and like he didn't like really release music like that, but like when I noticed like because like the credit card was like also like in my name too, like I was paying for stuff to get his music out too, but like when I noticed like when there was like no motion and all that too, like you have to kind of realize like where everything's going to. So like you do have to make some changes and go backs and all that. But,
I agree, bro.
Yeah, man. But with your musical background and history, like did it mainly come from your family or friends, or like how was that like, and like what inspired you to rap and be a musician and taking your craft seriously?
It's all social media based, I feel like recently. But back then as a kid, I loved beats, I loved dancing, this and that. Like I always like looked at music as like a way to like really have fun with it and like enjoy yourself, rather than just watching a movie, sitting there doing nothing, Music you can sing, dance, all this stuff. So
and
that's really why.
Yeah. And I think, even with music too, because there's open opportunities for people to make music as well too. And, like some people like they'll rather be like the fan than like the artist too, but like it has to be like that drive on like where you want to be like in that sense too, because, being an artist too, like it's like a lot of work and all that to be successful, to kind of get your name out there, to do shows and all that too. So it's like kind of like a process too. So
no, that's real shit. Still, it's not that hard, but you put your mind to it, you can do it, right? So it's a good game. Still, get into it, man. I recommend if you want to make music, have fun with it. Just make a track,
Yeah, nah, most definitely, man. Like at what point did you decide on like to stop becoming like the fan and like just like becoming the artist, like in that sense?
Well, I'm still a fan. Like I still have lots of music I like listening to, but like really like why I wanted to become an artist, just same thing like I said earlier. I like listening to like my kind of songs, music, like something that makes me get amped or hyped.
Yeah.
Like I could picture someone saying it that's not me, and I could still say it as well,
Nah, 100%, And I know we already talked about like your influence within music, which is like the whole like Detroit sound and all that too. But aside from like even like with RJ Lamont, RJ always like tripping and all that too. What artists like who would you like to work with someday, like musically?
Like an artist or a producer?
Both,
Both?
Yeah.
Well, I got a few like coming soon. I'm just working on it. Like I'm trying to work with MIAJC. That's another artist, Skilla Baby's producer, right?
True.
I'm trying to rap with half of those guys, Skilla Baby, Baby Money, But the prices are up on those, so I gotta get there, right?
True.
Upcoming artists, I gotta get there,
I mean, you might get like a Band Gang Lonnie feature too, like if that's possible.
That's
like
another one.
Because I know right now, like his traction, it's here and there sometimes too. Like it could be like hit or miss. Like back then in like 2018, like he was like the man from there. But like I think lately too, because like when he had Babyface and like Vez and like Baby Money and Skilla and all that too, like now they're kind of rising while he is like still like doing like the work and all that too. But hopefully, like I'd see you do a song with Band Gang Lonnie. I think also I don't know if you rock with like Cali rap and all that too.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I listen to like
Yeah.
YG,
True.
those guys. Yeah.
Like definitely see you like on a track of like Ralphie the Plug and all that, or
Yeah,
also
it's different.
you know, RMC Mike too. Like I kind of see like that whole vibe. You know, Beef be the Pac-Man.
Yeah, I bum those guys still.
yeah.
Yeah. Shout out those niggas.
Yeah, Shooter Gang Coney too. Like he's also like pretty dope too. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
But you know, just to kind of add that in, top 5 Detroit artists and producers you're listening to like right now.
RJ, shout out RJ. Lon's the King. He's not from Detroit, but he has those Detroit kind of beats. And like most Detroit rappers bump with him, you know? Are we talking just producers right now or both?
We can do both,
artists?
actually, no?
Yeah, Peasy, Skilla, right?
Yeah.
Baby Money. That's 5 already. There's tons more though, you know?
Yeah,
So-
for me, top 5 Detroit artists, I'd say Sada Baby, I'd say Band Gang Lonnie, I Swear Vezo, Babyface Ray, and then also Peasy too, you know, Peasy, and then if I were to add like a couple in, like T Grizzly, Cash Doll,
for me, all those people too. It's like
Yeah.
a tie, bro.
yeah,
They're all sick.
I rock with like Ant Beats too. I rock with like Helva and all that. RJ as well too. So
Band Gang sick
yeah,
still.
man. But like for first time listeners, how would you describe your music to them, and what can they expect from you?
Well, right off the bat, Detroit flow, as obviously we've been talking about it, and like kind of fun entertainment, saying whatever I want, kind of freestyling but writing, right? Usually I freestyle in my head, but I'm writing it down, so it's kind of like both,
Yeah,
right?
man.
It's not like just right off the head into the mic, but it's because I like to perfect it or like add words to it, make it sound even more funnier or like entertaining,
Yeah, man.
you know? So catchy. Has to rhyme, obviously, right?
Yeah.
I'm not an offbeat kind of Detroit rapper. I'm like straight on point rap with the beat flow, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, just if you want to go listen to some good music,
yeah, man.
I suggest you bump KGDASAV, yo, humbly.
Yeah, man. I think that already answers like the second question too. So we could kind of skip the second question, because as a rising artist in Toronto with the whole Detroit sound, you know, that's what makes you like the best, like from the rest and all that too. Like it kind of rhymes from there.
Appreciate
So
it.
yeah, man. But where do you see yourself like within like the short term and long term? You know, like within like, you know, a year or two to like 5 to 10 years. Like, what are your goals?
I'm definitely taking the music serious. I'm trying to like do more shows, have people know really who KG is, right? Not just be an upcoming artist, like get up to that level. So I'm just working, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
doing both. I'm working my job and I'm doing this rap shit
man.
full time, you know?
True.
So definitely it's in the music lane though, for
Yeah.
sure. I'm not gonna fall off.
Yeah, man. Which shows did you do before? Like, you know, like I actually want to get to know like the performances and stuff like that, and like how, like what the experience was like.
I did quite a few, like if I could try to remember. Like I did some at Clinton's Bar. I've done some at Scarlett's. I've done some at Lancaster House. It's like a lot of strip clubs.
Yeah, man.
I've done like car shows. I've done outside, same thing, another car show,
Oh,
like
true.
a good amount. So
Nah, most
Yeah.
definitely. And how was like that whole like performing experience? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like opening up or like even just like headlining like those shows and all
Yeah.
that, you know?
also I perform at the Rec Room.
Oh,
It was
true.
pretty sick. Like performing on stages like that is a good
Yeah.
vibe. It's not just like you're like all on the same kind of level and stuff. You're on a
Yeah,
real
man.
stage. You're putting on an entertainment like
Yeah.
scene, right? So
Yeah, man.
nah, I fuck with it. It's sick.
Yeah, man.
I love performing.
Yeah, because like you kind of like get to know like the audience more, and like you kind of get to like network as well too. So
Yeah, that's the number
like-
one thing.
like what I've noticed too, like from you and YBA too, like I think especially from YBA, it's like, you know, being in these moments where you get to like interact with people and like actually do shows like professionally. It's not like that whole like pay to play like type stuff and all that too. You know,
Mhm.
just if that offers to you, you know, like if you get the chance to perform, like you just got to take it in like regardless, you know. So
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah, I paid to perform my 1-2 time, but you gotta start somewhere, right?
yeah, man.
That's what it's all about. If you're trying to do this music shit, you can't be broke, bro.
Yeah, true.
Like, and not even broke, I should say cheap.
Yeah,
Like you gotta like, do what you need to pay for all that stuff, but like you gotta put money into the music, right?
true.
That's how it is.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, man. And how did the working relationship with Team Real Estate 247 come about? And like, what was it like having her as your manager in terms of your musical journey and process?
Yeah. Well, she likes to call herself a concierge. She's not like a manager, but she definitely does the manager duty. Like she puts us out there. She says our name. She promotes us all the time. She tries to find us events to perform at. Same thing, right? Like I just recently joined like about a month ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's worth it. Like she really knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's a good person. She's not trying to be no one else, you know?
Yeah, no, most
Like,
definitely.
and I saw her Instagram, random post, I guess a promotion post
Yeah.
through like another like page. And after I seen that one, she started popping up over and over. So I said, why not follow her, see what she's about? I DM'd her.
Yeah.
A year later, she hit me up, you know, she's busy. So
Yeah, no,
then
most definitely.
ever since then, we've been locked in like the last 4 or 5 months now.
Yeah, because with her, like, she actually had like a crazy working experience, like before in the past too, like 2018, 2019, she worked with like Chromas and like
Everyone, yeah.
you know, also I think Cholocash too, and like a whole lot of other people too. And you know, I've noticed like her relationship with Chromas is like still good and all that. The Cholocash stuff, I think it's already explainable and all that. But like, you know, with her like working with like new acts, like with you, with YBA and all that, it's like interesting too because you know, like she's setting the levels to kind of take you guys on to like the next level too, to even perform with like Tony Yayo, to perform with
American
Lloyd Benson.
artists. Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
That's why she's like super tapped in with American artists, this and that. And you know, people in America support better in this upcoming music shit. So it's like, she's definitely the number one reason you want to mess with her.
Yeah, because I think she even had like a connection with like Benny and like Conway and
all
like
of
all those
them.
guys. Yeah, man. Regardless,
Shit.
you know, true.
And 247.
True. Yeah, man. So like, what's your creative process like when making music, and what would like a day in the studio be like for you?
Like at first when I started, I was in my house. So like the days in the studio kind of changed for me throughout the years. But like in my crib, I'll just show up with my boys. We'd set up. I would be so excited, energetic, right? Like playing video games, whatever, right before rapping, not even like looking at words and stuff. And then later on, about now, like a few months recently, I've been actually taking it serious, writing it on my phone, you know, going there, not getting too lit, like taking it like I'm working, right? Like I drink, I smoke a 1-2, but like I really like to go to the studio to work and get my music done. So it's like everything comes naturally. I don't gotta force it really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah, I know what you mean, man.
That's about it.
Yeah, and like I know like also with the studio too, it's like kind of like the people you bring in, like the vibe too, like the aura. So like what's like that whole like aura like, you know, being in that studio and all that?
Yeah, it's fun, you know, we're always laughing. I crack the guys up half the time in the studio when I say some shit. Even if I mess it up, it sounds funny as hell, you know?
Yeah, man.
So like it's a good vibe. We're definitely energetic. Obviously Detroit beats, right? Just having fun with it.
True.
Yeah.
Do you kind of like blaze up or like get lit at the studio and all
Yeah,
that?
I was saying that. Like a little bit. I drink a little bit, smoke a little bit, but I like try to stay like mainly sober.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like when I actually like take it professionally, I do better rather than just having fun with it, wasting time at the studio, you know?
Yeah, most definitely. Like, what would like a good studio session like be like for you and all that? Just like having like a good amount of like energy, you know, just like even with the sound too and all that.
Man, people just gotta be in there having fun, not no weird shit, right? No like grilling me or trying to like diss the music, you know. At least help put in a bar to say what I should say if I messed up, if you're not fucking with it, you know. That way I get more advice on it. But other than that, just be cool, yo. Have fun with it. There could be no people, there could be plenty of people.
Yeah.
Doesn't faze me. I like rapping in the studio regardless, you know?
Nah, most
it's like my
definitely.
safe haven, they call it. So
Yeah, man. Nah, likewise. And you know, like even working with like RJ Lamont, I don't know if he's actually from Flint or Detroit because
he is still.
Oh, from Flint?
Yeah.
True. So how did you manage to work with him and on the production of your latest project? And like, what was like that relationship and experience, you know, working with him? And like, what were like some things that you both learned from each other in order to work better within your music?
To be honest, like I never really met him in person, but we did a lot of talking before. He works with all budgets. He's super understanding. He's chill. He's not like a DJ or a producer that's like, oh, you ain't got no money? All right, next. Like, you know? So right off the bat, that made me feel like I could actually do something with this guy, which I have, right?
Yeah.
Drop 8 tracks with him, shit like that. We're still locked in, trying to do some more soon.
Yeah.
So definitely a good way to come out. Because like the Detroit sound is upcoming. So I might as well bring an upcoming popular sound to the city right now as we speak, right?
Yeah.
So like,
yeah,
it's a good vibe still. You taught me a lot. Taught me how to have fun with it.
Yeah, nah. And probably seems like a dope vibe too, like in that sense too, because you know when you interact and like when you get like that beats too, it's like kind of like knowing the energy and the vibe like that he like kind of like encapsulate like too, like in that sense too. So I think like even like when that project dropped, like was there like a lot of like reception to it, like were people like rocking with it and all that?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I did got him before that, right? So that was with Lanza King. That was like my first Detroit beat kind of style. Like I was practicing with those beats. And ever since then I went to RJ's beats. started having even more fun with it. You know, took it more like a freestyle, like I was saying. So
Yeah, man. Nah, likewise. And
good vibe.
what was like the creative process and inspiration for that project?
I was like free Rio in my head, so I needed to put on Detroit in a way, kind of thing. You know, like I rep my city, I love my city and all that, but like the music scene is hard, as we all know,
Yeah,
right? So I had to do something different, like I was saying earlier, to be able to stand out. So like the creative process of that was hop on upcoming music. You know,
Yeah.
like if Atlanta was in my head, it was an option, I would have went to Atlanta. But that's a
Yeah.
whole different kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
You gotta have the accent and all this, you know?
Yeah.
So,
It's just like finding like what people like kind of like in that sense too, like just
Yeah.
like knowing the vibe, energy. Nah,
Yeah.
I got you, man. Nah,
Real
I
shit.
definitely understand too. But with like with the other project too, like the Gotham series, you know, because like that was like also like a dope project as well. Like, what was like that whole creative process and inspiration like?
I met Lons on Instagram, same way. He gave me some good deals, good beats, quick thing, right? And he actually liked my music himself, so I had to add more songs with him, work with him,
True.
right? So he's from Las Vegas, like I was saying, but
True.
heavily Detroit influence, you know?
Yeah,
He's
man.
done a lot for like Grind Hardy. I don't know if you know him. He's in the group at V's and stuff.
True.
Yeah, Bear freaking artist probably.
Yeah, man.
I'm trying to think of who else. There's probably quite a few. I just got a clue in. Like Rio definitely was one. So yeah, no, Lons definitely is a guy. Yo, deals. If producers have deals or whatever, I'm all for it. You know, because I work hard for my money, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I know, like, you know, even with like American producers, like American artists too, like they'll only take like free ways of money, you know, like for Cash App, for PayPal, through like Zelle and all that too. Because with here, it's like you're either sending it through e-transfer or through like PayPal and all that too. Because
Facts.
Cash App, Zelle, like forget about it, you know.
Can't use that here. Yeah, no,
man.
I told him that it's PayPal all the way for me usually.
Yeah.
Or Apple Pay sometimes, right?
Oh, true. Like Detroit artists and producers take Apple Pay.
Yeah, some of them do that.
Crazy, man. Because Apple Pay, it's like it's a good thing too to use. But it's like, you know, I'd see it like more so like when you're going to a store and all that type of stuff too. You know, so
they have it though.
True.
So I think you just gotta. It's like PayPal now.
Yeah,
you can just add an
true.
email and it's a Apple bank account, right?
Yeah, because I was contacting this guy, Alex Wiley. He's actually from Chicago, but like he works with like Chance the Rapper and like Mick Jenkins and like all those people too. And you know, like he was like having a deal like, hey, do you want to purchase these products for like $100? Like, because like it's like, you know, if you send me $100, I'll send you 2 copies of like my vinyl with like other stuff and all that too. Like he sent it to me last year, but it's like I didn't like respond to him until like days ago. So, and he told me like, you know, I only take Zelle, and like I had to tell him, you know, I'm from here, so I only take PayPal or for the bank and all that too. So, or like Western Union too. Like some, yeah. So like he said, like PayPal works too. So it's like, yeah, like, you know, even with American artists too, like I can understand like that whole process of like, you know, paying for features or paying for other stuff too, because if you don't have Cash App or Zelle, you know, it's only PayPal, and like not a lot of people understand like e-transfers too and all that, you know. So
facts,
yeah, man,
definitely a challenge, but they're all on it now.
Yeah,
they all know that Canada's coming their way, right?
Yeah, man.
So they gotta accommodate for all of us all over the world, bro.
Nah, 100%. And you know, with the music that you make now versus before, did you feel like there was like a significant change for the better?
Oh yeah, definitely. Before I was rapping on any beat, like any random beat, but like a lot of people were telling me like try to find your flow, your style, and like make good music kind of thing, you know, and I keep switching it up. Even though it's good to have versatility in your tracks, right? But like more times, like when I go to the Detroit flow, I feel like it's home. It's easier, natural to me because I listen to those guys, right? So that's my answer for that.
Yeah, man. And I think like, you know, you kind of have to find like the style that fits for you, because like not every beat's gonna be like an instant beat, like unless like you could like work with it too. Like, you know, with Cali beats it might work, but it's like more slowed down, like more like do like it'll kind of slow down. With Detroit beats, they always the whole like sped up style, so it's like
it's upbeat.
Yeah. And like, you know, it's just kind of knowing like, is this going to be like the right fit for my sound? Is this going to be something that I'll actually like tend to enjoy too? So it's like knowing what you like and like knowing what works for you too, you know? So
yeah, I know. I rapped on a couple Cali beats, but like I said, it feels like home with Detroit, right?
Yeah.
So it's easier to make tracks in volume very fast, quickly.
Yeah, man. Nah, likewise. And how did you get your stage name KGDASAV by any chance?
To be honest, KG is my initials, right? And I always like these clothes I would see. It had Savage logo on it all the time, like Savage, this and that. And like sometimes as a kid, I was a savage. Like I did a lot of
True.
fuckery. So I just look at it as like blending it with my motto, like success, ambition, values. So like KG to Sav is kind of my thing now.
True.
Yeah.
Nah,
I'm doing
likewise.
merch too, so I'm putting the motto out more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like honestly, man, like with like it's kind of interesting too because it has like a nice flow to it too. But I feel like with like even with Toronto artists too, like they'll always do like that whole like simple like name too, like AP or DQ or BK or CK too. Like with KGDASAV, like it has like an interesting flow like to it, you know, like just how like people can describe it too, like if you're a savage or if you're like on like timing and all that too. So like it kind of has to mean something too. Like I
definitely.
think yeah. So I kind of like rate the name and all that too.
Respect,
so,
bro.
Yeah,
Thanks,
man.
bro.
Likewise, man. And how do you deal with your mental health as a person in your position, like with everything going on in your life? Have you ever felt like it could be like overwhelming?
Yeah, but like it's like anything in life. Even when growing up, like when we're teenagers, whatever, we were stressed, overwhelmed, but we're still here, right? So I looked at it the same way with music. Like whatever happens, I'm gonna stress now, but I gotta get over it to like keep it moving, do better.
Yeah, man.
So definitely a good mind
yeah.
state.
Nah, likewise, because like with a lot of stuff going on in life too, like you always have to be alert with whatever you're going through too. Like just in the TDC a while back too, there was like a stabbing like at Eglinton like station, like uppers, and like there's like other stuff too, like shootings and all this type of stuff too. So you're always on high alert, like on whatever happens too, because anything can happen too, and like also like a lot of stuff too with bills, with like responsibilities, with all this type of stuff. You still have to follow them, like it's still your responsibility, but sometimes too it could be like overwhelming too. So like at times, taking a break could also be at the best too, or like also meditating or also like doing things that could help you like ease up more. Like it's good either way, So
yeah, no, I agree, bro, for sure.
Yeah, man.
Just try to stay off the streets, drive around in my whip more times,
True. Nah,
Construction, I'm on the streets a lot.
Yeah.
But like I blend in. I'm wearing construction clothes,
and like, it's a breath of fresh air and all that too. You kind of enjoy the environment too. And like, I've actually I used to do like security for a bit, before like this whole like TLOY stuff and all that. So I used to work at construction sites, within the security aspect too. And they would have like these like normal things that they do, like flirt with women or like all that type of stuff too, like catcalling. And it's to kind of like enjoy the mood, enjoy the timing and all that too, because you're not gonna have that time to enjoy life and all that. So
yeah, for real, you gotta do it while you're working because you're working fucking long hours and shit.
Yeah, man.
You might as well have fun.
Yeah, and like even being outside in the fresh air too, like even if it's raining too, it's a better vibe than like anything else too. So yeah, man.
Definitely, I agree.
Yo, how do you feel about social media right now?
You see anything on it, it's wild.
Yeah.
Or like it can influence you, give you advice in a good way or a bad way.
Yeah.
Just how you look at it, right? So the way I'm looking at it is like it's definitely not serious. It has nothing to do with your real life, nothing to do with like how you feel in real life. It's like a whole next virtual reality,
Yeah,
it's like a way to escape from like your real life, right?
No,
but like definitely I show like what I'm really going through and what I do on Instagram. But what I watch is like a whole fantasy.
Yeah.
Like I watch all this random shit, bro. It's hilarious.
Yeah, man. No, like 100% too. And like I think just the idea of it too, like it is like kind of like interesting too, like with what's going on, IG and Meta, like they're doing like the whole like Fred situation, based out of like Twitter and all that too, because Elon Musk is like Twitter, it's not as interesting anymore too, but like, some people are still like kind of using it too, like with the whole like legacy, like verifications and all that type of stuff too. So it's just kind of knowing like, the right moment too. And like sometimes too, IG can be toxic. Facebook can be like problematic. Twitter, like not everyone can get into like Twitter and all that too. And like TikTok and like Snapchat, not really like the vibe as it used to be and all that too. So it's like, it's just like knowing how to decompress and like how to like take a break and all that, so.
For real, yeah. I don't do the TikTok, but I don't have Snap no more either. I just stay to IG.
Yeah.
Really good for music purposes, right? Snap was a good one, but like I feel like people on Snap aren't there for music. They're there
just to like kind of vibe up and like send some shit.
Exactly.
Nah, I got you, man. Nah, 100% too. And like I think nowadays too, like IG, it could create like fake realities or images that people can like verify and all that too. Because with like IG, you could take a pic of like being at the best in your life too, but like deep down you could be upset or unhappy and all that too. And like
for real.
it's just like knowing when to decompress, like and like knowing what to post and what not to post and all that too. So
No, we're definitely all going through some shit, but like we gotta at least be humble about it, be grateful for what we got, where we're at.
Yeah, man.
Right? Just look good doing it. That's the kind of thing. That's the vibe I'm on, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. And do you have any, like, I know, like you said, like you're not like tuning into like television and this stuff as much too, but do you have like something that like you're tapping in right now in terms of like television shows or like podcasts or movies or books that you'd like to recommend for people?
I've been watching the Breaking Bad series recently.
True.
Because when it came out, I was a youngin', obviously, and I really wasn't into like watching TV. I was outside a lot. So that's one of them. The whole series, like Better Call Saul. The movie was all right, but
yeah, man.
That's like one. The Wire, Boys in the Hood. A lot of the old school stuff, right?
Yeah,
where it's like, yeah, they're hood, it's hood shit, but it's like real, like how to be a man shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, Breaking Bad, they have like a new movie out right now. El Camino. It's a pretty good movie. Like it's based on
slow.
Yeah. And
It's
then
alright.
also, I don't know if you watch like Better Call Saul and all that.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. The trilogy, all three of them.
Yeah.
Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, El Camino, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I've watched Breaking Bad and El Camino, but I've never watched like Better Call Saul and all that too. Even though I feel like I have like missed out on that part too. Like even though it is kind of like how it like was back then, because it took place in like what, the 90s or something like that, and then the actual series didn't start until like the 2000s. So it's like kind of like that whole like timeline from there and all that. So
yeah, no, it's a good point of view. Still, you should watch it because like you see everything who everyone was before they were the way they were in Breaking Bad. So yeah, definitely.
Like if you're into Breaking Bad right now, I mean, The Wire is also pretty good too. Like it's kind of like more slow paced, but like it has like a lot of like vital moments too. Like there's like a lot of like well-known people that acted before. Method Man, he played this guy named Cheese, like kind of like a background character. I mean, Idris Elba, he played this guy named Stringer Bell, and like a whole lot of other people too. The guy that played Avon in I think. No, not Avon. The guy that played Ace in Paid in Full plays the character named Avon in like The Wire and all that too. So it's like it's pretty interesting from there and all that. So
even Power and all that. 50 Cent's
Oz
producing.
too, yeah, man. Oz, Sopranos, a lot of stuff. So yeah, man. How do you feel about the Toronto music scene right now? Do you feel that there should be some changes on the direction of where the scene should go to?
Nah, it is what it is. Like there's a lot of different kind of cultures and whatever down here, right? So we all kind of merge together good. Like I know a lot of people that sing auto-tune. They don't sing auto-tune. They actually sing. They rap, So it's like definitely a good vibe. Like we have people like me now starting to do the Detroit thing. So we're all just different sounding, It's really hard to put on what sound. But like mainstream, I guess you want to say like, yeah, it's like Drake, right?
Yeah.
So
And there's like a lot of crazy things happening right now. Like it's been good before. Now it's like you don't know what's going on too. And like, like recently, Rolling Loud, like they're not hosting in Toronto right now for this year. And like I think the whole like situation with Keep Six Solid, getting shot, like the owner of it, and like a lot of other stuff too. Like, do you feel that like even with situations like that, it's kind of making like a slight like downfall, and like even in like internal policies, do you feel like blog pages are kind of doing that stuff too to kind of instigate it?
yeah, definitely. It's like always clickbait type shit, right? So I feel like whatever they have to post about celebrities and shit, it's always a hype. So you never really believe it.
Yeah.
Like when Takeoff died, that was one example. I was like, what? This is fake. And then really happened. So it's like, it's hard to believe.
Even the whole like Megan Thee Stallion like situation too, because I remembered one day I was like kind of reading it, like, people said like, Tory is like not guilty for shooting at Meg, and like this other stuff too. He's only guilty of carrying like the stick and all that too, but people like found it out like too, like with No Jumper, with Say Cheese, they made those posts too, and like later on he's found guilty of like all three charges. So it's like you don't know what to believe nowadays. Like you don't know like if it's actually going to be like factual and all that too. Like I could like post something like that might be fake, like a fake sex tape or something that might be different, but like something it could also have like effect, like a detrimental effect to people, like when they do tend to notice, and like sometimes too lawsuits come.
Real shit, bro. Yeah, that's the main thing. You gotta avoid those.
Yeah, man. Nah, 100%. We just have these like last few questions, but I always like ask this for like people who like want to get their fans like notice their music. Starting like this year and all that. To get people to know like the artist, the guests, like with their music and all that. But name 3 songs like in your catalog that you'd like to recommend for any person that has not heard about you before or that would like to know more about you.
Sauce is the go-to right now. Sauce is bumping, playing that everywhere I go. Cruising in the 6 is a good vibe. It's a slower Detroit kind of vibe. And I'd probably say my first songs I ever made, like one of them's called Pandemic. So obviously when the pandemic started, I made a track, right? So those are definitely the 3 go-tos. But yeah, Bump Sauce for sure, yo. The video's out, everything's out, it's going crazy. All platforms.
And also like Flint to the 6 too. Like if you're not tapping in, like also listen to that album too.
Facts.
That is definitely lit. Listen to it. Like a Toronto artist working with a well-known Detroit producer. Like what can you beat? Like that's the only one that could actually take over right now. And that's facts.
Facts. Yep.
Yeah, man. And what's next for you in terms of any other music, creative projects, and so forth? Like I know you have an event coming up on Monday, but do you have like anything else going on too?
No, I'm just doing my Scarlet thing right now, performing there whenever I can. Shout out to Chili for sure. He's getting me shows. Real Estate really introduced me to Scarlet too. So I'm probably going to hit her up because obviously she's pointing me in the right directions, So definitely.
Yeah, man. Likewise too. And do you know where, like, for people that want to like follow you on social media, like where can they follow you?
I'm on all platforms: Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, Pandora, Tidal, all that. KGDASAV, one word. You can find me. It's all caps. When you search it, you'll see it pop up. So you can't miss it. It's easy to find. All platforms. Instagram. No Snapchat though, obviously. So,
Yeah, nah, 100%, man. And do you have any like closing remarks you'd like to say?
Nah, bro. Shout out to you guys for having me here. Yo, it was sick.
Yeah.
Good talking, bro. I like the questions. It's productive,
Yeah,
At least
man.
these people know about me a little bit more now, for sure.
Yeah, man. And we did the whole like Crown Apple with the cream soda.
Yeah.
How did you feel about
That was fire. Yeah, shout out to Josh who put me on.
Yeah.
Yo, you guys don't steal this trademark. It's his, yo. I swear.
Yeah. I
Fire,
mean,
bro.
you gotta like find it on TikTok too, but like I'm the first one putting it on like in
On
this whole
me.
format too, So gotta
The
try it
first
out,
one Putting me on it. So, trademark.
Yeah, man. KG,
Yeah,
it's
bro,
a
for
pleasure
sure.
having you on.
What do you know, bro?
Yeah, man. And this is Josh, also known as Yashu, episode 41 of TLOY Talks. You could find it on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, like much more. I feel like I say it like way too much, but like we gotta get people to tap in like from there.
Tap in, yo.
Yeah, man. And 5 stars, like if you wanted to do it for the Apple Podcast one too, but if you want to tap in, like it'll always be up like whenever it is, and this is Josh, also known as Yashu, episode 41 of TLOY Talks, signing off.